On the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics.
Department of Defense in the USA.
Real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene. Over here, we have individuals. So let me complete. So over here, we have individuals who are not particularly fundamentalist, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach. What you see
here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from going on a bomb test and
spreading a virus.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very remarkable data in this next slide. Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top is an individual who's a religious fanatic, an individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now, this individual down here who had low levels of the VMAT2 gene, this individual would self-describe as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual light lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind. It's a part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In marked contrast, here's an individual who would not particularly self-describe as religious. And when they're read a religious text, what you see is that this part of the brain called the anterior insula lights up. This is a part of the brain that's associated with disgust or displeasure on hearing something.
So you're suggesting I take a CT scan with me when I'm evaluating people to determine whether I put a little bullet in your head?
So the data that I'm presenting here supports the concept that we're proposing. And I think that we would not propose to do CT scans or fMRIs on individuals out in the hinterlands of Afghanistan. The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially to turn a fanatic into a normal person. And we think that will
they're
have
going
major
to
effects in
spray
the Middle East.
a virus.
Well, so the present plan and the tests that we've done so far have used respiratory viruses.
Respiratory viruses.
Or rhinoviruses. And we believe that's a satisfactory way to get the exposure of the largest part of the population.
Have you ever noticed chemtrails?
Have been exposed to both of those viruses. And we're
which is why everyone's sitting in on this pandemic. We're all sitting at home because we've been sprayed.
Yeah, so the name of this project is FunVax, which is the vaccine for religious fundamentalism.
Do you have a proposal already?
The proposal has just been submitted, and I think that the data that I have shown you today would support
2005
development of this project, and we think it has great promise.
I think that's enough. There's not much point in going through all of that, but the bottom line is we've been that was cleared for 2005 for them to carry on. So the chemtrails, to answer why the chemtrails exist, is in readiness to reduce our ability to think and be disgusted, as we just seen there. So they spray us, we inhale it, and along comes the pandemic, and there you go. We're all sitting back, watching the fake news push all this Operation Fear, and it's all joined in together. Look, David Icke, he's got some strange ideas. However, what he's actually been talking about has been spot on, I think, so far. I just wish he would join. Oh, here we go. Adverts. I just wish that he would do something simple to do with like Q. Why wouldn't he do anything with Q? It doesn't make any sense. The other thing is that these reactions of people walking around in all this paraphernalia, this PPE, for just a bog standard, as we just heard, it's just a coronavirus. It's your flu virus. It gets transmitted. And the numbers, that we all know the numbers are fudged. Everyone knows that. Everyone behind the scenes who are involved with either the medical profession are starting to wake up and go, what's going on? However, let's have a look at what happens when you go through military training. They are doing exactly that with the civilian population. They are teaching the civilian population to maintain distance, to maintain order, to follow this position or that position, stand in this queue, turn this way, turn that way, not allowed out, not allowed in. These are shut, this is shut. Where are you going? Show your ID. Have you got good reason to be out? Now, this is the intention of the globalists. I accept that. And I believe that the plan in QAnon, trust the plan. Trust in the plan means that we know that this is being used as a boomerang. This is a boomerang that's coming. We are actually witnessing arrests of MS-13. We're witnessing child trafficking organisations being taken down. But the mainstream media will not give that information out, because that goes against what they're protecting. They are protecting and they are involved. They are Savalites. They are Jimmy Savalites. They are either enablers or pedivores. They're one or the other. When people become aware that this is a direct result of their ignorance, the way in which they've allowed the Muslim Brotherhood to take control of all the mayoral positions, who then control the police, who then ask for, just look at any advertisement now that's to do with diversity or cultural or whatever, and then have a look at the type of person who is your chief constables. Have a look at the sort of decisions that are being made by the courts in the two-tier law and order system, or three-tier if you include the people who are above the law. So you have the elites above the law, then you have the protected species, the BAME, who today we learn get PPE in Somerset NHS Trust before any Indigenous whites. Racism coming out of the closet. It's also part of division, so remember that. Remember, they want us divided and not awake. And they've sprayed us so much, I think they probably achieved that goal. Anyway, that's enough of my ranting. This is going to take about 5 hours to upload because it's coming up to 10 minutes. I'm deboosted, whatever that means. It means I don't show up, and my accounts are on Twitter and on YouTube are the same. But join with me, give me some comments. Have a look back through my timeline at the spraying and the chemtrails, but I believe that I finally understood why we were sprayed instead of theory.